Welcome into the AU Women's Basketball Report. Dan Laing alongside women's basketball head coach Megan Gebbia. And into the postseason national tournament for a second straight year, for the second time in your coaching career. But you're in the WNIT. What does it mean for these seniors to be in back-to-back national tournaments?
I think it's great for them. Obviously, this was not our goal to get into the NIT, but I think anytime you earn the right to be in postseason play is awesome for the seniors, and to do it back-to-back times is awesome. And I think for them, just to continue to play, they love playing with each other. They love the camaraderie, and they don't want the season to end. And I'm excited that we get this opportunity against a great Penn team.
The chemistry between the seniors seems pretty incredible. We've talked about in the past the chemistry that they sort of laid out for the rest of the team and how that's sort of spread out. But just amongst the seniors, their chemistry seems pretty unheard of, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, they all live together, so I'm sure that helps a little bit, and it could hurt, I guess, in some ways. But yeah, just how they've just taken the freshmen in this year and made them feel a part of the team and not as a cast out or whatever. It's been awesome. So for the seniors, you want the best. You want them to be a part of history. You know, obviously we've never had a postseason victory, whether it be NIT or NCAA. So it'd be great for them to go out with a win like that.
When you look at the WNIT and when they were trying to figure out the bracket and everything, of course the NCAA bracket was leaked early, so they had to move that up. But yet the WNIT said, all right, we're still going to release it around, I think it was 9 or 10 or whatever it was, but then they kept pushing it. What was going through your mind when they kept trying to, figure out the bracket? You kept pushing probably refresh.
I did.
And what's happening here?
I absolutely did. I had butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, this is more exciting than the NCAA tournament bracket release. So, yeah, I was like, well, we had all the staff and I had sat down and talked about where we could end up, right? It's usually regionally. So we had a bunch of teams. We were putting bids out like, who do you think we're going to play? And my choice was Georgetown. I was thinking they were going to keep us real local. But I know the NIT does seed it based on RPI and things like that as best as possible within your region. So none of us picked Penn, but I'm really happy that it is them. It's another really good mid-major team we've already seen, which is nice, and it makes our scout a little bit easier just because we've played at the Palestra already.
You mentioned the fact you've already seen them. You saw them in a closed scrimmage to begin the season. Yeah. What can you take away from that? Because it was so long ago, and both teams have grown so much. Yeah, I mean, not a lot, aside from the fact that you played at their venue, and you can take a look at like, how do they defend what we do? I mean, I looked heavily at that. I looked at, we played a lot of different combinations of people, so it's not a real game in my mind, because there's certain people that wouldn't be out on the floor that you would normally put out on the floor. But I just think, playing against their length, their size, their athleticism, their style, their 2-2-1 press, back to 2-3 on makes, man on misses. So we've seen that. That all, I think, plays into in helping us down the road in playing them in this NIT game, so we'll see. And when you look at the scrimmage, are you focusing more during a scrimmage on what your team is doing, or are you looking at what Penn's doing, or you know what I'm saying? Like, is there a different lens through which you're looking at the game through a scrimmage versus a game during the regular season? Yeah, I'm looking at combinations of people on the floor, because at that point in time, we didn't know who our starting five was going to be. We knew a couple of them, but we had different people in, and at the end of the game, when we tried to play that scrimmage more like a game, I remember India being in at the end with the other four. So, yeah, I mean, it was good to kind of see that. It was good to see how they reacted, because it was the freshman second scrimmage of the year, and what could they provide, what could they do against a really good team. And so, yeah, you look at it differently. I don't think I coached it to win. I was really just doing it based on who was in the game, and then, they're in zone, so we're going to run our zone stuff. When you look at what they bring, you mentioned their length, their athleticism. What are some things that you want to see your team really work on and really get together, so to speak? Rebound. Based on how the end of postseason went, we need to do a much better job on the glass. So rebounding was a big. I think being able to handle their length as far as defensively in the zone, because it's one thing when they're a man and you're cutting and things like that, but they kind of play the next pass, or being able to drive gaps and feel comfortable being not trapped, but having length around you and being able to make good decisions is important.
being able to guard their stuff. They have a really, really good inside kid that's Defensive Player of the Year, so she's a great shot blocker. In the scrimmage, she blocked Cecily 3 times in the same possession and had 5 blocks in 30 seconds, so the kid can get off the floor. So we'll be preaching shot fakes like we did before. Right. That's really important. But I think we can execute what we do well against them. It's just a matter of, do we show up, do we make shots when we need to make shots?
How do you balance at this time of year pressure versus fun? The pressure because obviously you want to come away with a win.
Yeah.
Fun because you're one of only a handful of teams that are still playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want them to feel pressure at this point in the season. I want them to go out and enjoy, because they just lost in the championship game. It's heart-wrenching. You're thankful that you get another shot at it. So you need to play with that thankfulness that you have and go out and have fun. But yes, we're still going to be on their case. I mean, we're still going to practice hard. We're still going to make them run for mistakes and things like that. But it's more of just getting that renewed sense of, all right, let's go out and see if we can make history.
Now, Caitlin Lewis really seems to have stepped up
Yes.
here in the postseason, really seems to be a cohesive part of this team,
Yeah.
maybe even more so. At least it's more noticeable
It is.
Here these last few games.
Yeah, I love how Caitlin's playing. I just think she's playing without fear. She knows that she needs to step up. We're missing that guard, that go-to guard that can get it done when you need to make a shot. And she's been able to hit some pull-ups. She's hit some threes. She's creating shots for Cecily, which has been nice. And I just think she's playing fearless. And you have to play fearless in tight, difficult games. And I think the other younger guards can learn from watching her and what she's been able to do the last couple games.
Now, she's from Pennsylvania, so she's familiar with the Palestra, the cathedral of college basketball, and what it's meant to college basketball as a whole, women's college basketball. For you, what does the Palestra mean? And you've coached there before. When you walk in those doors.
Yeah, it's fun. It's obviously fun to be in the Mecca. And for us, playing at UCLA last year and being in that situation, and then coming to postseason here with being at the Palestra, I think I'm going to have to explain to the team what it means and how Philadelphia in general has just supported women's basketball. And Mike, the head coach at UPenn, is from Philly. I'm sure he's going to have a great crowd there. They're going to support Penn no matter what, whether it's NIT or NCAA. So we're going to have to play in front of a large crowd that's going to be loud. Philly fans are crazy, so we have to be ready, but I'm looking forward to it.
Best of luck Friday against the Quakers.
Thanks.
Head coach Megan Gebbia right there, the Eagles and Quakers in WNIT action on Friday evening. Keep up with it on AUEagles.com and across all the social media platforms.